I just want to sing one song, and we'll be done. Way away, away, ayano. Way ayano. Way ayano. Way away, all right, I'm back for another Tim Talk. Ayano. I'm back for another Tim Talk. This Tim Talk is, I'm going to entitle it Windows in Time. There's a time for everything, and there's a right time for everything. And a lot of how we move through the world in our lives, and whether we become extraordinary people or not extraordinary people, depends on us being able to observe the moments, the windows in time that allow for us to go more deeply into some area or some phase of our life where at the other end we become remarkable. Every human being has the ability to become remarkable. You know, books have been written about countless human beings that are remarkable. Movies have been made. Stories have been passed down through time and told. And often when we hear these stories or see these movies or read these books, we think it's them. And it's amazing it's them. But we often don't allow, we could be that. Each individual could be that remarkable person that the stories are told about, that the movies are made about. Why could that not be true? It is true. And you don't have to live your life in a way where that happens. You can still live a very powerful, simple life, kind of under the radar. And that can be incredibly powerful and connecting too. We'll leave judgment out of it and allow for this beautiful thing called life to flourish. But so many of us, we don't notice those windows when they're open. Sometimes we call them defining moments. I've talked about that. We don't go through the window when it's open. Even if we see it, we don't go through. Fear holds us back. False evidence appearing real. Fear, false evidence appearing real. That's the acronym. We don't go through the window. It's like there's someone on the other side, a great spirit, a wonderful friend, a loving person, saying, come, 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 and we don't do it. What holds us back? Fear, laziness, lack of belief in ourselves. Who knows? That and more. To be extraordinary, to have an extraordinary life, you gotta be the one that goes through the open windows when they show up. And they're gonna show up many different ways. They might show up through another person you see, and they invite you into their world to come along on a journey. They might show up from things that happen in nature that inspire you, and you have these incredible inspirational thoughts that move you. They might show up inside of you. You just, one day, the idea, the thought, the dream appears. And there it is inside of you. And then you put it back to sleep. Let the dream out. Give the dream energy. Give it medicine. Bring it to life. And start the journey. Go through the window. Every person on this earth is extraordinary if they want to be. And when people live in extraordinary ways, they affect the earth and other human beings in extraordinary ways. We all win. So live your dream. And here's another really important part of this. If you get your butt kicked, if you get knocked down, scraped up, beaten up, don't give up on your dream. Lick your wounds, learn from the mistakes you made, and then get back up and go for it. Those are the people that change the world forever for the good. You never give up. You might have to take a different path. You might have to change your trajectory a little bit. You might have to come get some new knowledge. Whatever it takes, do it. Because whatever it takes means you'll get it done, and then you'll have this extraordinary life, and we'll all win. And when I say we'll all win, I mean the birds, the plants, the trees, the mountains, the earth itself, and us, every individual. You know, there's this great saying we teach in our philosophy school class. Energy follows thought. When an idea comes up and you put it out there, it comes up, it's thought, and you put it out there as energy, you give it life. It becomes real. It starts to live. It starts to have a life. Energy follows thought. The idea comes, give it the energy, and then let it go. And here, another very important part is there's times when you need to control and manage the experience as you go through your life. But there's times when you just need to get out of the way and let the forces of the universe, seen and unseen, guide you. And you can put a stop on it, slow it down a little if you need to, just like driving a car. You go fast, you can go slow, depending on the situation. But often, we're our own worst enemies. So just learning to get out of the way and let something happen can be powerful. But as that happens, if you choose that path, you must be willing to see the drawbacks, the weaknesses, the problems, and deal with those along the way. And there's no problem too big. Just look at what humanity has done. Good, bad, or anything else. We're amazing. We can solve anything. You throw in a little good dose of kindness and love and heart and service where you care, you're doing it for a higher purpose, for the good of all living things. You can't go wrong. And if something happens and it does go wrong, then again, I repeat, you get back up and go for it again. Imagine things in life where that's the case. Imagine, I used to sail. You get out in a big storm, you can't just give up. You got to work with the storm. You got to deal with it. You got to deal with the intensity, the craziness of it. You got to deal. And then when the storm passes, which it always does, if you've made it, then you get to enjoy the calm and the peacefulness. And then another storm comes around. Life is about living. And nature is the greatest teacher of living, because nature is nothing but a living being herself, and every single thing within her is a living being. So the lessons and the teachers abound. Just let them teach you. Let them inspire you. Let them bring the dreamer out in you, and then let those dreams come true. We hayano, we hayano, we hayano, we hayano, we hayano, we hayano.